morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. My name is Chieng. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited about today's videos. So I have chicken, and with the chicken that I'm preparing in this video, I usually go to the farm. It's a farmer's market, and what they do is they get the chicken, it's live, and then they prepare it and they smoke it for you. A little bit about my background: I'm originally from Kenya, and back in Africa, how we prepare our chicken is definitely, if you're in the countryside, you grab your chicken, you unalive it, and then after that you smoke the chicken. And that is why I go to this particular farm in Texas, because they do just that, and it gives a touch of how we prepare it back home. So for this chicken, it has already been smoked, and I usually do meal prepping, right? It's the weekend and I know next week I'll be working, so I usually like to maximize my meals when I prepare them so that I can avoid getting bored. Sometimes I've learned about myself is that I will get bored with just one flavor and I will start looking for other types of food. So for this one, my chicken, I am going to prepare it in two ways. So this video will be a variety of two ways that I'm going to prepare my chicken. So make sure you watch this video and you watch the next video. It's one of the recipes going to be butter chicken, which is an Indian cuisine, and then I'm going to do a pepper sauce that I create myself. I make it at home, and I'm going to make a chicken with that pepper sauce, which is basically a blend. The pepper sauce is a blend of red bell peppers, habaneros, red bell habaneros, and tomatoes, hence the name red pepper sauce. So I'm going to create it two different ways, so make sure you watch both videos, and I really hope that you enjoy. And please guys, do not forget to subscribe. So I have already prepared the chicken. I've already boiled it to soften it a little bit, because the chicken from the farm, it's much harder, just like home. That's why I love going there. It's much harder, so I've already softened it a little bit. So now we are just going to proceed with our next steps. So I hope you enjoy, and please guys, we need 1,000 subscribers, so do not forget to subscribe. Click on the notification button, like this video, and spread the word. Thank you. So for our red sauce, we have our red sauce, because that is the main ingredient. I'm going to add more of this, but this is just to show you our red sauce. We have garlic, we have ginger, and our pan is a little bit heated up and the oil is hot. So I'm just going to go ahead and add our onions, just so that they can soften. And the sauce already has onions, but if you have watched my previous videos, you would know that I love using onions as much as I can. So there is more red sauce here that I'd already defrosted, so it's ready. And then I have my chicken right here. It is ready to go. Also, I have my habanero, and then I have my spices. But for this recipe, it is red sauce, or red sauce chicken, depending on how you call it. But the main ingredient here is the red sauce. And for the red sauce, it is a sauce that I make myself from scratch. It has bell peppers, tomatoes, red habanero, some onion, garlic, and ginger. I cook it, I blend it, and voila, you have your red sauce. It really comes in handy every time, because I do not have time and energy to prepare this sauce every day. So I usually prepare a bunch, and then I just freeze it and use it as I go. Okay, so while I have white onion softening, and also I forgot to mention, I have my chicken stock that is from this chicken that I softened before, and I do not want the onions to soften too much, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding my ginger. I love the flavor ginger brings in red sauce. If I'm making it chicken or beef, it adds amazing flavor. And then I'm going to add garlic. I always use these ingredients every time I cook. And I like this pot. This pot is a little bit dipped because when you're making red sauce, sometimes it kind of, when it bubbles, it kind of gets messy. So I would highly recommend using a pot that is a little bit deeper to help avoid the splatting of the red sauce. For our chicken, it's already smoked, so the texture has already been kind of hardened. I usually like it hardened a little bit after it's smoked, and then you fry it in oil a little bit before. I usually use the same oil that I'm going to use to create the sauce out of it for the chicken. So you can always do that, and then after you kind of brown the chicken a little bit, then you begin with this process. I had already done that process, but this is just FYI. If you're someone that likes browning your chicken first to add some texture to it before proceeding with the remaining of your ingredients. So because I'm going to let the sauce cook for longer, I'm not going to let this onion cook for too long, since there'll be additional cooking on the red sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with my red sauce. I'm going to start with this small tin that I had already. Depending on the amount of chicken that you have, it depends on the amount of red sauce. So I would say I'm adding a cup and a half, but the red sauce is the main, it's what makes this chicken red sauce unique. So you have to be very very kind when adding the sauce. So I am happy with the amount of red sauce I have on, and this sauce has to cook very well until it turns almost dark, not too dark but almost dark, before you add this chicken stock. So that is very, very important, because that's what makes this red sauce unique. It has to turn a little bit darker. So with that being said, I'm going to reduce the heat to medium low and let it cook slowly, because if the heat is too high, it's going to splatter all over and it makes a lot of mess. So you have to be very cautious As you can see, it has like literally started sparkling a little bit. So you have to be very cautious, and using a cover will be your best friend. But I have this on medium to low. I want it to take its time. I want the water to cook down so that we're just left with the thick sauce, so that the sauce, the red sauce, can cook gradually in the oil. As you can see, it has started sparkling a little bit, and then start turning dark in color. There you can see it has started bubbling and sparkling all over. So I'm going to close this. It's already on medium low. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to turn or just mix it as I go. So I have been gradually stirring as I go, and as you can see, it's not, the water has cooked away, and all we have is the red sauce. And as you can see, it has started changing the color. Even the oil has changed color. That is exactly what you want to see. So now I'm just going to continue cooking it until it changes color more, a little bit more, not too dark, but definitely we are getting some color already. And during this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. I'll begin with chicken bouillon. I'm going to add some Creole seasoning, not too much. I am going to go ahead and add some cayenne pepper for some heat, and of course some black pepper. Mix as I go. Cannot forget paprika for some smoky flavor. And the reason why I'm adding the paprika right now is if I added it at the beginning, it would have changed the color of the sauce, and one would think that it's cooked, but it's not cooked. So that's why I usually give the red sauce more time first to cook by itself without any spices, because spices also add color. As you can see, adding the paprika, it has already added to the depth of the color. So those are just one of the hacks or something to pay attention to. I'm going to increase the heat just a little bit because I really want this sauce to cook. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin. And after that, cannot forget our Maggi. I'm using one small cube of Maggi. Now with this red sauce, the African way, you can go wild with it, adding smoked, whole smoked fish to add some smoky flavor. For this one, I'll be using the crayfish powder, which adds a very unique taste to your food. And you do not want to go too heavy for the crayfish because it has it adds good flavor when it's added in small portions or in the right portion. But if you overdo it, it can be too strong, and not everyone is used to that taste. So you just want to get a balance. I am loving the color of our sauce. Going to taste. Going to cook it down a little bit more because I just want the color to change. Now the good thing with this chicken, you can the good thing with this chicken red sauce, you can eat it with anything. You can eat it with rice, you can eat with ugali and some green veggies. You can eat it with chapati or with some bread. You can really go wild with it. That's why I always make it, and when it comes to getting the side, it's always so easy for me. The most important thing is that you have your chicken red sauce. So at this juncture, I'm going to add our chicken, and yes, I do have the chicken leg on it. This is a farm bought chicken. It comes with all pieces, and I am not known to waste. And this leg right here, this is how we prepare it back in Africa. We do not waste, and it has amazing flavor. The bone releases amazing flavor onto your sauce, so you do not want to waste it. So I'm just making sure the red sauce and the chicken are marrying with each other. As you can see, from where we started, the color of the sauce to where we are, it's a huge difference, and that's exactly what you want. This is more of the African way of really cooking down that red sauce mixture so that it can really add more depth and color. Like I said, you can make it different ways. Sometimes you can add potatoes, you can add green peas, you can go wild with it. But the reason why I'm just preparing chicken by itself, it's because I'm planning to eat it with rice, and also I'm planning to eat it with some green vegetables, with ugali. And when I do that, I do not like having green peas on it. So that's why I'm just going simple, so it can give me more room for variety of sides for me to eat it with. But if you're just planning to eat it with chapati or with rice or with bread, you can add potatoes, you can add cassava. I love using cassava when I do that. You can add green peas, you can add more ingredients. But for this, we're just going to do chicken and the red sauce. So I'm happy with where we are now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add my chicken stock that I prepared when I was softening this chicken. And what I want is for this to simmer and cook. I've already attained the color that I want. And trust me, once I add the liquid, it does not mess with the color of this chicken. Believe me. Not the color of the chicken, Lord. The color of the red sauce. It does not change it into, you know, for it to be lighter in color. No, it just keeps it that way. So don't worry about that part. And then of course you cannot forget our habanero. And I'm going to add a little bit more liquid because I want this to cook down slowly. I'm not going to add too much, but at least some good amount, so that when it cooks, some of the liquid cooks away. So for this, we are going to let it cook on medium-low heat because we have already softened our chicken, so our chicken is almost halfway cooked. So let me taste to see where we stand on our spices. That tastes amazing. Just a little bit chicken bouillon and a pinch of salt, and we should be good. So just a pinch of salt, literally a pinch, and we are going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to see where we are. We are going to take a look, see where we stand. As you can see, this looks amazing. I'm happy with the thickness of the sauce. Looks good to me. And on this point, if the oil is too much for you, you can always remove some of the oil. And our chicken is ready to serve. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, and those who have already subscribed, welcome to our channel, and thank you for subscribing to our channel. Until next time, bon appetit, and I truly hope that you did enjoy this recipe.